Page 31, Snappily Dressed. 4/4 time, 2 sharps. We're in the key of D major. So be sure you can do the scale, D major scale, 2 octaves up and down. That's your assignment should you choose to accept it. Let's check it out one hand at a time. Make sure we got notes and fingering and rhythm. And I'm going to play everything connected at first. So at the beginning, we're kind of here. The thumb is down 1. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and reach up with the little finger. I'll come back to that grace note. Leave it out. 1 and 2 and 3 of the thumb again. I don't like doing that, but we have a rest. We can do it. There's other fingerings we could try, but keeping in mind the speed and the grace note and all, we're kind of, this is it. Let's just do it this way. You're using the thumb twice. And then going on. Measure 6, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's tied. Next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're playing on the ands of the beat. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Fortunately, the left hand's playing on the beat, so you can figure that out when I get to the left hand. You'll just have a ball, you wait. Let's go down to measure 17. You're here. I suggest 2 here on the C sharp. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Measure 20. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you hold that down for a while, and then at the end, it's an F sharp, a B, and a D. You can do a 2-4-5 or a 1-3-5, depending on how big your hand is. And the last chord has an AVA overage come up. Left hand, quarter notes. However, the fingering, let's look out here. I suggest you do a 5-4. Here, it's a bit of a stretch, but you really need to be able to do that. So it's 5-4-2-1. And then in the third measure, it's 5-4-3. This way I don't have to cross over the thumb. And again, measure 5, 5-4. I'm doing all these the same way. And measure 7 again, 5-4-3. Through the whole thing is basically fingered the same regardless of what the notes are. Let's go down to measure 16 where you're here. Now 17, that's an A. Again, 5-4. Now you have some choices depending on how big your hands are. If your hands are small enough, you can actually get away with a here if you want. Otherwise, if you got bigger hands, you want to stick with 5-4-3-2. That way you're avoiding the thumb on the black key. You're staying out here rather than in here. But then in the next measure, it's a G, and then an A again. And if you can do this for measure 19 to 5-4-3-2-1, you'll have to cross over the thumb. If you do that, you got to slide off. Good luck. Or maybe you can go a 1-3-1. You can cross over and get it that way if you want to. But if your hand's big enough, I recommend just 5-4-3-2-1. Just do them all that way. And then for measure 21, it's an F sharp, an A, and a B. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So watch out. So you're playing on the ands. And then at the end, it's here. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's an AVA under it. So you go down an octave. If you have keys, if you've got a short keyboard, you just play the lowest D you have and don't worry about it. Put the hands together. And again, I'm playing everything connected still. Measure 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then do that some more. Let's go down to measure 16. Go on, you're here. Now we're here. 1 and 2 and 3. See, 3 they play together. And then measure 21 or measure 20, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And right as you play the last one, you can lift up the right hand. So again, measure 21. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then going on, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're playing on the end of 4. You may be wondering a bit about that empty measure at the end. You have to ask the composer for sure why it has an empty measure at the end. Now we can add the staccatos and all that stuff. This left hand, keep this pretty much connected. This is like a string bass. You have the bass where the guy's plucking along. Just a string bass back there doing its thing. Keep it in the background out of the way. So for the most part, it's going to be all legato until you get to the end when you get some staccatos for the left hand. It's the right hand. I'm using a nice light wrist staccato. You can use finger if you want. And this little grace note, real quick. And whether you play it on the beat or before the beat is between you and your teacher. I don't care. Just you can't really tell which way. I do them on the beat because that's what I was taught to do. However you do it, just make it a quick note. Here, that's all. So going on measure 6, we're here. Now here, measure 8, staccato, but connect the left hand. So fourth, just add in these staccatos and slurs and things to get down to the bottom. Say, measure 16, you're here. Here on the right hand, these are not staccato. Now staccato. So you're going back and forth, but the left hand's still connected. Now left hand. 1. The staccato and accent on the end, although I don't think you need an accent when it's fortissimo. Just play it loud and short and make sure you claps the wrist. You get boom type thing. And then the speed. Well, again, 136, that's not real fast, but it moves along pretty. I think about as fast as I've been going. You need to be accurate. Don't get sloppy. Sloppy is okay if nobody can hear you. You're just doing your own thing. Who cares? Have fun. But if anybody can hear you, then for their sake, try to not be too sloppy. No, they say swing the eighths. That means 1 and 2 and 3. That's the rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And 2 and 3 and 4. And you just feel this. And only eighth notes, nothing else. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do the dynamics. I will do the staccatos and the accents, and I'll swing the eighth notes. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just try it slowly together. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and